The White Tower is not just a building. It is a legacy, a chain of tradition that stretches back to the Age of Legends. For millennia, the Aes Sedai have preserved this legacy, clinging to rituals, oaths, and knowledge that have kept their order strong. To outsiders, these traditions may seem like rigid formalities, like outdated customs that serve no purpose in a world threatened by the Dark One. But nothing could be further from the truth. The legacy of tradition is the White Tower's most powerful weapon. It is the glue that holds the order together. It is the shield that protects it from corruption. It is the tool that ensures its influence endures. This legacy is built on three pillars: the weight of the three oaths, the proper way of doing things, and the selective guardianship of knowledge. Together, these pillars form a foundation that no enemy can shake. The three oaths are the most visible part of this legacy. Every Aes Sedai, upon being raised to the shawl, swears them on the oath rod to speak no word that is not true, to make no weapon for one man to kill another, and to never use the one power as a weapon except in defense of her own life, the life of another sister, or the life of her warder. On the surface, these oaths seem like limitations. They prevent the Aes Sedai from lying, from manufacturing weapons of war, from using their most powerful tool to attack. But to the Aes Sedai, the three oaths are not limitations. They are strengths. They are the source of their credibility. They are the reason the world trusts them. The first oath, the oath of truth, is perhaps the most powerful. In a world of lies and deception, the Aes Sedai's inability to lie makes them beacons of reliability. Kings seek their advice because they know it is honest. Common people turn to them in crisis because they know they will not be misled. Even the Forsaken, who thrive on deception, respect the oath of truth. Ishamael, the most powerful of the Forsaken, once said, "The Aes Sedai cannot lie, but they can twist the truth until it is more dangerous than any lie." He was right. The Aes Sedai have mastered the art of telling the truth in a way that misleads. They omit details. They use vague language. They focus on technicalities. But even this twisted truth is more trustworthy than the outright lies of other rulers and factions. The Oath of Truth also serves to control the Aes Sedai themselves. It prevents sisters from lying to each other, from hiding their intentions, from manipulating their peers with false promises. This internal honesty is crucial to the White Tower's unity. It ensures that sisters can work together without fear of betrayal. It ensures that disputes are resolved based on facts, not fiction. During the schism of the White Tower, when the Order split into loyalists and rebels, the Oath of Truth prevented the conflict from descending into chaos. Even though the sisters disagreed fiercely, they could not lie about their actions or their motives. This honesty allowed for dialogue. It allowed for compromise. And in the end, it allowed for the reunification of the Tower. The second oath, the oath against making weapons, reinforces the Aes Sedai's role as peacemakers. By refusing to make weapons, the Aes Sedai position themselves as above the petty wars of men. They become symbols of neutrality, of compassion, of a higher purpose. This position allows them to mediate disputes between kingdoms, to step in and end conflicts without being seen as taking sides. During the War of the 100 Years, which devastated the Westlands for a century, the Aes Sedai refused to make weapons for any faction. Instead, they acted as mediators, using their influence to broker ceasefires and negotiate peace treaties. Their refusal to take part in the violence made them trusted by all sides. It allowed them to end the war and rebuild the shattered kingdoms. The third oath, the Oath of Defense, ensures that the Aes Sedai use their power responsibly. It prevents them from becoming tyrants, from using the one power to oppress the weak. It limits their use of force to situations where lives are at stake. This limitation makes the Aes Sedai's power more respected, not less. People do not fear them because they know the Aes Sedai will not attack without just cause. They trust them because they know the Aes Sedai will defend the innocent. During the Trolloc raids on the Two Rivers, the Aes Sedai, who came to help, did not use their power to destroy the Trollocs indiscriminately. They used it to protect the villagers, to heal the wounded, to create barriers that kept the Shadow Spawn at bay. This responsible use of power earned them the gratitude of the Two Rivers folk, and it reinforced the Aes Sedai's reputation as guardians of the light. The second pillar of the legacy of tradition is the proper way of doing things. The White Tower has a ritual for everything: a ceremony for raising novices to accepted, a protocol for meeting with kings, a formal process for electing the Amerlin seat. These rituals are not just formalities. They are expressions of hierarchy. They are reminders of the Order's values. They are tools for maintaining discipline. A novice who learns the proper way of addressing a sister learns respect. An accepted who participates in the raising ceremony learns humility. A sitter who follows the protocol for voting in the hall learns patience. The raising ceremony, in which a novice is raised to accepted and then to the shawl, is one of the most important rituals in the White Tower. It is a long, arduous process that tests the candidate's physical, mental, and spiritual strength. The candidate must stand for hours while sisters recite the tower's history. She must demonstrate mastery of dozens of weaves. She must answer questions about tower law and the three oaths. The ceremony is not designed to be easy. It is designed to be transformative. It strips the candidate of her individuality and rebuilds her as an Aes Sedai. By the end of the ceremony, she is no longer a girl from the Two Rivers or Kerhien. She is a member of the White Tower. She has internalized the Order's values. She is committed to its legacy. The protocol for electing the Amerlin seat is another example of the proper way. The Amerlin is not chosen by popular vote. She is chosen by the sitters of the hall through a complex process of negotiation and consensus. The sitters meet in secret. They discuss candidates for days, even weeks. They weigh their strengths and weaknesses. They consider their Aja affiliations. They seek the guidance of the pattern. This process is slow. It is deliberate. It is designed to ensure that the Amerlin is not just a powerful channeler, but a wise leader who can unite the tower. During the election of Egwene Alver as Amerlin's seat of the Rebel Tower, the sitters followed the proper way even in exile. They did not rush the process. They did not let emotion cloud their judgment. They chose Egwene because she was the best candidate, not because she was the most popular. This commitment to the proper way ensured that the Rebel Tower remained legitimate, even in the eyes of its enemies. The third pillar of the legacy of tradition is the selective guardianship of knowledge. The White Tower's library is one of the largest and most comprehensive in the Westlands. It contains books, scrolls, and manuscripts on everything from the One Power to history to philosophy. But not all of this knowledge is available to everyone. Novices are allowed to read only basic texts. Accepted have access to more advanced material. Full sisters can read most of the library, but some sections are restricted to sitters or the Amerlin seat alone. This selective dissemination of knowledge is not about secrecy. It is about control. It ensures that the Aes Sedai retain a monopoly on critical information. It prevents outsiders from learning the secrets of the One Power. It ensures that the tower's traditions are passed down correctly, without distortion. One of the most restricted sections of the library is the Black Aja files. These files contain information about the Black Aja, the secret sect of Aes Sedai dedicated to the Dark One. They include the names of suspected Black Aja sisters, the methods they use to hide their allegiance, the plans they have for the tower. Access to these files is restricted to the Amerlin seat and a handful of trusted sitters. This restriction is necessary to prevent the Black Aja from discovering that the tower is onto them. It ensures that the fight against the Black Aja remains secret. It allows the White Tower to root out corruption without causing panic. Another restricted section is the Prophecy Archives. These archives contain ancient prophecies about the Dragon Reborn, the Last Battle, and the Wheel of Time. The Aes Sedai do not share these prophecies with the public. They do not even share them with most sisters. This is because prophecies are dangerous. They can be misinterpreted. They can be used to manipulate people. They can create false hope or unnecessary fear. The Aes Sedai guard these prophecies carefully, sharing only what is necessary with those who need to know. When Rand al'Thor emerged as the Dragon Reborn, the Amerlin seat shared only portions of the prophecies of the dragon with him. She did not tell him everything. She knew that too much knowledge would overwhelm him, that it would make him reckless. By controlling the flow of prophecy, she ensured that Rand fulfilled his destiny without being destroyed by it. The legacy of tradition is not static. It evolves. It adapts, but it never breaks. The Aes Sedai change their rituals. They reinterpret the Three Oaths. They add new books to their library. But they always do so in a way that preserves the core of their legacy. They always do so in a way that reinforces their order's values. This adaptability is what makes the legacy of tradition so powerful. It allows the White Tower to survive in a changing world. It allows the Aes Sedai to remain relevant even as kingdoms rise and fall. As this chapter has shown, the White Tower's legacy of tradition is not a burden. It is a strength. It is the reason the Aes Sedai have survived for millennia. It is the reason they are trusted by the world. It is the reason they are feared by the Shadow. The Three Oaths give them credibility. The proper way gives them discipline. The selective guardianship of knowledge gives them power. Together, these pillars form a legacy that no enemy can destroy. In the chapters ahead, we will explore how this legacy shapes the White Tower's inner circles, how it extends beyond the tower's walls, and how it ensures the Aes Sedai's influence endures for generations to come. We will see how tradition is not just the past, it is the future. And it is the key to the White Tower's eternal dominion. The White Tower is a maze, a labyrinth of alliances, rivalries, and unspoken rules that only the initiated can navigate. To the outside world, it appears as a unified order, bound by the Three Oaths and a shared purpose. But on the inside, it is a collection of Ajas, each with its own agenda, of sisters, each with her own ambitions, of power struggles that play out in whispered conversations and subtle gestures. To survive in this world, an Aes Sedai must master the art of navigating the inner circles. She must know who to trust, who to avoid, who to ally with. She must understand the sisterhood of secrets, the mentorship web, and the power of unspoken judgments. These are the tools that separate the successful sisters from the forgotten ones. These are the tools that determine who rises to the hall of the sitters and who fades into obscurity. The first key to navigating the inner circles is the sisterhood of secrets. The White Tower is built on secrets. Secrets about the One Power. Secrets about the Dark One. Secrets about the sisters themselves. Some of these secrets are shared by all Aes Sedai. Others are known only to members of a specific Aja. Still others are shared by small groups of sisters who have formed exclusive bonds. These secret bonds are the glue that holds the inner circles together. They create trust. They foster loyalty. They give sisters an edge in the constant game of influence. The Ajas are the most visible example of the sisterhood of secrets. Each Aja has its own purpose, its own rituals, its own secrets. The Blue Aja is dedicated to justice and causes. Its sisters share information about political movements and rebel groups. They work together to advance their chosen causes, even if it means breaking tower law. The Red Aja is dedicated to hunting male channelers. Its sisters share intelligence about suspected channelers. They coordinate their efforts to gentle them, even if it means traveling to distant kingdoms. The Green Aja is dedicated to preparing for Tarmon Gaidon. Its sisters share battle strategies and information about Shadow Spawn. They train together, fight together, and die together. These Aja secrets create a sense of identity. They make sisters feel like they are part of something larger than themselves. They make them willing to sacrifice for their Aja. During the schism of the White Tower, the Aja secrets played a crucial role in keeping the factions unified. The Blue Aja sisters, exiled from Tar Valon, relied on their shared secrets to maintain contact with each other. They used their network of informants to gather information about the Loyalist Tower. They used their knowledge of political causes to rally support from kingdoms across the Westlands. Without these secrets, the Rebel Tower would have collapsed. Beyond the Ajas, there are smaller, more exclusive secret groups. These are groups of sisters who share a specific experience or a specific goal. There are the Warder Bond sisters, who have lost their warders and share their grief. There are the Prophecy Scholars, who study ancient prophecies in secret. There are the Reformers, who seek to change the White Tower from within. These groups are not recognized by Tower law. They have no formal structure, but they are powerful. They allow sisters to share ideas that would be dangerous to express openly. They allow them to coordinate their efforts without attracting attention. They allow them to influence the tower's direction from the shadows. One such group is the Circle of 12, a secret society of sitters from different Ajas who meet in private to discuss matters of great importance. The circle was formed during the reign of Amerlin's seat, Tamra Ospenia, in response to the growing threat of the Dark One. Its members share information about the Forsaken. They coordinate their votes in the hall. They make decisions that affect the entire White Tower, without the knowledge of the other sisters. The Circle's existence is a closely guarded secret. Its members communicate through coded messages and hidden meetings. They know that if their existence is revealed, it would cause chaos in the tower. But they believe that their secret alliance is necessary to protect the order from threats both internal and external. The second key to navigating the inner circles is the mentorship web. The White Tower does not leave the development of young sisters to chance. Senior Aes Sedai strategically select novices and accepted to mentor. They guide them. They teach them. They elevate them. Their goal is not just to train the next generation of Aes Sedai. It is to ensure that these young sisters align with their Aja's agenda, that they remain loyal to their mentors, that they become allies in the power struggles of the inner circles. A mentor's influence begins the moment she selects a protege. She will take the novice under her wing. She will teach her advanced weaves. She will introduce her to other influential sisters. She will share her knowledge of the tower's inner workings. In return, she expects loyalty. She expects the protege to support her in the hall, to vote as she votes, to defend her against critics. This relationship is not just about teaching. It is about building a political alliance. Moraine de Modred's mentorship of Egwene Alver is a perfect example of the mentorship web in action. Moraine recognized Egwene's potential from the moment she met her in the Two Rivers. She took her to the White Tower. She taught her to channel. She introduced her to Siwan Sanche, the Amerlin seat. She guided her through the ranks, helping her become accepted, and then assist her. Moraine's goal was not just to train Egwene. It was to ensure that Egwene would support her in her quest to guide the Dragon Reborn. And Egwene did. Even after Moraine's apparent death, Egwene continued to uphold her mentor's values. She became a leader of the Rebel Tower. She worked to reunify the Order. She fought to save the world from the Dark One. Moraine's mentorship had created a lifelong alliance. The mentorship web is not limited to individual relationships. It extends to Ajas as a whole. Each Aja has a formal mentorship program. Senior sisters are assigned to mentor novices and accepted, who show an interest in the Aja's purpose. The Blue Aja mentors young sisters who are passionate about justice. The Red Aja mentors those who are committed to hunting male channelers. The Green Aja mentors those who are eager to fight in Tarmon Gaiden. This program ensures that each Aja's ranks are replenished with loyal, like-minded sisters. It ensures that the Aja's agenda continues to be advanced for generations. The third key to navigating the inner circles is understanding the power of unspoken judgments. In the White Tower, punishment does not always come in the form of chores or stilling. Sometimes, it comes in the form of silence, of exclusion, of subtle disapproval. These unspoken judgments are a potent weapon. They can ruin a sister's reputation. They can isolate her from her peers. They can force her to fall in line. A sister who violates the unwritten rules of the inner circles may find herself excluded from meals with other sisters. She may find that no one wants to work with her on projects. She may find that her ideas are ignored in the hall. These slights are not accidental. They are deliberate. They are a message, a warning that she has stepped out of line, and they are often more effective than formal punishment. A sister can endure scrubbing floors, but she cannot endure being shunned by her own kind. During the schism of the White Tower, unspoken judgments were used to keep sisters in line. Loyalist sisters who expressed sympathy for the rebels were excluded from Aja meetings. They were not invited to social gatherings. They were given the most menial tasks. Rebel sisters who questioned Egwene's leadership faced similar treatment. They were ignored in strategy meetings. They were not assigned to important missions. They were made to feel like outsiders. These unspoken judgments ensured that both factions remained unified. They prevented dissent from spreading. They forced sisters to choose sides. Unspoken judgments are also used to discipline sisters who violate the tower's unwritten rules. A sister who seeks power too openly, who allies with the wrong Aja, who speaks out against the Merlin seat. These sisters will find themselves the target of subtle disapproval. Other sisters will avoid them. They will whisper about them behind their backs. They will make it clear that their behavior is not acceptable. In most cases, the sister will get the message. She will tone down her ambitions. She will switch her alliances. She will keep her opinions to herself. She will fall back in line. Navigating the inner circles of the White Tower is not for the faint of heart. It requires intelligence. It requires patience. It requires a willingness to play the game. But for those who master it, the rewards are great. They can rise to the Hall of the Sitters. They can influence the direction of the tower. They can become some of the most powerful people in the Westlands. For those who fail, the consequences are severe. They can be forgotten. They can be isolated. They can be destroyed. The records of the White Tower's Yellow Aja, which specializes in healing, contain accounts of sisters who fell victim to the inner circles. One such account, written by a Yellow Aja sister named Mirel Berengari, describes a young sister named Lila who was exiled from her Aja for questioning a sitter's decision. Lila was talented, she was kind, but she spoke out of turn. She challenged the sitter's authority, and so she was shunned. No one would work with her, no one would speak to her. She became a ghost in the tower. Eventually, she left. She traveled to the borderlands and died fighting Trollocs. She could have been a great sister, but she did not understand the inner circles. She did not understand the unspoken rules. This account is a warning. It is a reminder that the White Tower's inner circles are not just about power. They are about survival. To thrive in the White Tower, you must understand the Sisterhood of Secrets. You must navigate the mentorship web. You must respect the power of unspoken judgments. These are the tools that will help you succeed. These are the tools that will keep you safe. In the chapters ahead, we will explore how these tools extend beyond the tower's walls, how they ensure the Aes Sedai's influence endures, and how they make the White Tower one of the most powerful institutions in the Wheel of Time.